All right, I'm coming to find you. I'm coming to find you. I was trying to go live on the other page, but it wasn't working. Okay, now I'm sharing. Okay, I'm back. Round 2. This time it'll work because I said it will freaking work, so it will. You can jam out for a second with this elevator porn star music as I share this really quick. Because I'm about to drop some bombshells for people who are feeling guilty about money or having money or being successful or being seen or traveling the world or taking time to their freaking selves or giving themselves what they need or being honest about the things they long for. I'm going to support you guys with this because it's really important. Hey Christina, if you're on, let me know where you're at in the world. I realize that we're kind of branching even further out in the world. Where are you at? What state are you at? What country are you at? Australia's been blowing up my stuff lately. I don't know what's going on in Australia, but I'm proud of them. Sharing to one more page, and then I'm going to dive into the stuff for you guys. Susan took care of it. I just noticed my team did something for me. Chicago, Illinois. I didn't know you were from there, Christina. That's funny. Huh. Where else are you guys from? Okay. Feeling guilty about the idea of being wealthy and successful. This is a thing, you know. You recognize that this is a thing, and a lot of people struggle with this. Like, I'm bad if something successful happens, or if I make money, somehow I'm gonna be something bad, right? Like, I'm something bad if I make money. I will turn into something bad. I'm greedy, I'm a fraud, I'm taking away from other people. It's a really prolific thing going out there. Oh, you just moved there. I knew I didn't know you were there. So I'm gonna share a personal story with you guys that really, like, I'm really good at money mindset, at feeling like everything I long for is available for me. And of course, the only reason I long for it is because it was always available for me. So it's part of my purpose. That's why I long for it, right? So we get that, right? You guys understand that? So, like, anything that you're longing to have in your life or experience, or like when you envision your dream life, you're meant to have that, and you were intrinsically born with everything that you need to get there, right? Just, it's our stuff that gets in the way. It was never anything you needed to grow, like be something that you're not. It was always just a matter of shaking off the shit that was never meant to be stuck on you, so you stop getting in your own way of getting there. That's it, right? So, I mean, that's a completely different subject, but I know you guys have at least heard that, maybe not implementing it perfectly, but heard it, because we're #human, and that's what we do. We're imperfect. So I'm going to share a story with you because I'm really, really good at this, but Sunday, something happened to me that really made me drop into a whole new level of this. And like, it's like an even a further level of this, which I felt like was really powerful. And all I could think in the moment, I almost started crying. I was walking into church with my family and I almost started crying. It was like my husband and my kids. And all I could think about was how, if somebody could have told me this moment right here and what it meant when I first started this, well, I guess I probably wouldn't have believed it. If we're being really honest, I probably wouldn't have freaking believed it, but I'm going to share it with you guys anyway because, you know, maybe some of you guys are smarter than me and you will believe it, okay? So here's the thing that happened. I used to be a mom who frantically did everything for my children. I was a single mom for many years. I did everything by myself. So I was more like the, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done, right? Like, I bet a bunch of you feel that way. Give me a heart if you know what I'm talking about. Like, if I don't do it, ain't nobody gonna do it. I do it right, I do it good. I need to do it myself or else it's not gonna get done. Yes? You feel me on this? My alphas and go-getters? Yes, okay. So I lived that way for many, many years, and I lived in this crappy basement apartment, and I worked part-time as a nanny for another family taking care of their kids, and that was my life. And I went to school part-time, and I was trying to figure out what the hell I was gonna do, and I was broke all the time, and I made $400 a week, and I thought that was pretty great. I thought that was epic. Like, wow, I make $400 a week. Like, some people have to work for like $10 an hour. And I made $400 a week working very part-time, so it felt like so great to me, right? Looking back, I'm like, how the hell did I survive? But I was a go-getter. I got it done, right? I got the job done. So then on Sunday, I'm walking into church and I see my son wearing some it's like this preppy name brand thing or something. He got a t-shirt from them, and my daughters are all dressed up, and my husband's looking happy and healthy. And so my kids look like they're happy and they're healthy and they're thriving. And I had this flashback to what life was like before, and how my son was embarrassed to have his friends over, and how we didn't even have an extra bedroom when my stepdaughter came over, and how I felt guilty every motherfucking second of my life. I felt guilty. I always felt guilty. Every second of my life I felt guilty. I felt guilty that I couldn't provide. I felt guilty that I wasn't taking time for myself. I felt stressed out. And then I was so stressed out, and I was trying to do so many things for so many people, trying to, do this for my parents, my brothers and sisters, and my kids, and myself, and trying to juggle it all, and taking care of the family that I was taking care of, and trying to go to school so that I could eventually get us out of this. And I just felt guilty all the time. I didn't have a washer and dryer. I had to ask permission to wash my clothes. I didn't have a dishwasher. I can't even imagine not having one now, but I never had one up until 2 years ago. I had my first dishwasher. And as of 2 months ago, I got my very first refrigerator with the water thing on it. It's friggin' epic. Our beautiful home in Florida, right? So, okay, not squirreling out. So there I am. I'm walking into church. I basically just about start crying because I'm just in awe at how much wait. It was just 2 years ago they looked like this, and now they look like this. And I started, my biggest fear always, and if anyone who is a mom out there, or just even a human being, you're going to have some kind of tension around, if you make tons of money, what is that going to look like? And if you're a parent, it also looks like, if I make tons of money, what is that going to do to my kids? Are they going to be entitled? Are they going to blah, 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 right? You start thinking that way. So of course it's been a fear of mine that I don't want my children to grow up entitled. I want them to be a hustler like me. I want them to work hard and go get it and make it happen for themselves. I am self-made, right? Completely self-made. Started from ground zero, scratch. No network, no email list, no nothing. Ground zero, but my entire list from ground zero. Built my entire business from ground zero. No list, right? Because that's what most people have. I still barely have a list. I haven't given any attention to my email list yet. But we are now, so that'll build quickly, right? So I'm sitting there, and these things pop through my head. I used to think that if I became wealthy, it would hurt my children. I used to think that if I had lots of money, it would change me or do something bad, or it would become something worse. And who I was, and I cared about people, and I worked really hard, somehow that would change, and I'd get lazy, or I'd get superficial, or I'd get complacent, or I'd let my kids be lazy or superficial or complacent. And I used to have all these fears and stuff like this going on. Tell me below if you know what I'm talking about. What is the fear that you've had? I know you've all had it. I don't care where you're at. If you're making $1 million, you're worried about what it's going to look like when you're 10, or you're frustrated about something. What is it that you've worried about or predicted around having loads of money or being wildly successful? It's the same thing. Being completely seen, wildly successful, making lots of money, it's all the same thing. You have fears or guilts or mantras that you've sort of allowed to spin in your head about those things, right? I'm going to watch for those in the comments. So I had those going on. I was walking into church on Sunday. I saw my family going in, and it just dawned on me how much they're thriving. So for anybody out there who's feeling like there's something scary or bad about being wildly successful and doing what you need and taking really brave steps for you to have and create and design the life that you really love, I'm going to drop this on you for a second. I was the freaking poor mom who had to ask for my kids to go to play in the sports for free, blah, 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 blah. Today, my kids have any kind of extracurricular stuff that they want, any kind of high level support that I need to pull in for them, I can pull in. My daughter is now actually, just as of today, has joined the business and is working for the business as an entrepreneur, and on Instagram just got tagged by this company that because she's doing so well on Instagram, they're tagging her to promote her clothes. My son just bought his first pair of sneakers to flip and is learning how to flip new sneakers because he knows how to do it with the old sneakers. And he's building his business with the sneaker high-end industry type of stuff, learning how to resell those things. And my 8-year-old daughter has a YouTube channel. And we're all walking into church. Now, mind you, we didn't even go to church, and it was just my dream to find a church. And this isn't a regular church. This is the kind of church where anybody is welcome. I'm invited by that. I am. And it's like anybody's welcome there. And my kids were paying attention there and we're walking in and bonding as a family. My stepdaughter now lives with us. I mean, like everything in life is completely different. I'm watching my children become entrepreneurs as young teenagers, which would have never happened. We're all spending time together, going out to eat after at this epic place by the water here in this beautiful tropical place where we live, and going home to our dream house. How is that bad? My son gets support in school, in the best of the people who can support him in things. If they want life coaches or to figure out what kind of career path they want, they get to have those things. None of these things are going to make them entitled or worse, right? And so like sometimes if you think it's going to happen to yourself, maybe you can look at the innocent children. Are they going to be worse off if they have support in their life? If they have resources and options for themselves? Do you know what I'm saying? Tell me if you know what I'm saying. Like, I guess you can tell yourself the story that money is unsafe or bad or is going to do something bad or create something bad or take away from someone else. But as evidence in my life, the only thing I can see is people thriving and doing better and having better opportunities and having more resources for support and really epic memories all together. Like a lot of epic memories. I'm afraid I'll have no time for them because I will be too busy. So did I. That's what I thought too, only now I can take time off whenever the hell I want, anytime I want to. And there's been a brand new dynamic I was just talking about this today. There's a new dynamic when you live a life, when you have opportunity, when you have those kind of things, it's very different. So I'm gonna give you two examples. There's the mom who's at home with her kids and she's overwhelmed and burnt out and wishes her kids would shut the hell up because she never gets a break and she never gets to do anything, and she's trying to cook dinner and get the laundry done and figure out her schedule for the week and fill out the paperwork for the kids' school, and she's been doing this for 472 days in a row without a break, right? So friggin' there she is, or he is, doing all of that crap, and how much do you think she's tuned into her kids, or how much of a soul connection with her children do you think she has, or you have, when you're in that frantic, like just trying to get by, trying to get the bills paid, worried about stuff going on state, versus when you're thriving and all your bills are paid and there's an overflow and you're living your purpose and you're actually lit the fuck up about life and you actually wake up excited to do what you're gonna do, and you and your children have a dynamic of staying in touch and having deep communication connection. Trust me, the bond that I created with my daughter when she joined the business, and I'm teaching her this high level stuff when she wants to do, like, you know, be famous for doing makeup and that kind of stuff, like this is her dream and somebody believes in her and sees her dream. That is bonding. That is connection. The connection I have with my son when he's trying to outgrow these old behaviors and talking to me about how people back at his old house, how they used to all smoke weed and they all thought it was so cool, and he went home for, you know, a visit and he was just like, oh my God, I can't, like, I don't want to live that life. Like, I can't believe I ever thought that was cool, and he's wanting to get the hell away from it. That is bonding, awesome, amazing, incredible time. It doesn't require all of your time and for you to spend all of your time doing anything. It requires you to spend powerful soul connected time. It's not an exchange of time. That's not what this is. And that's what most people live their life. I work for a paycheck. I'm exchanging my time for a paycheck. But we can outgrow that shit. Just like people who have booked out one-on-one coaching calls. If you're a coach who has booked out one-on-one calls, or you're sick of the one-on-one calls but you're scared to do groups, get into my Diamond Mastermind. It literally just opened up. Just don't even, just PM me, right? Like, you need to stop changing your time for money. And the idea that having extra resource and opportunity could cause anything bad is so, it's insane. And it's so common, it's so human, it's nothing to judge yourself for, but at the same time, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So what if we just stop for a second, and what if we were just like, hey, I'm gonna be really honest about what I'm longing for and what I want. I'm gonna stop spinning the card and spinning the story that something bad's gonna come from it, because the truth is it's just another way to procrastinate showing up and actually being honest what I want and doing something about it. What if that's true? What if everything you want is like literally 2 seconds on the other side of all the things that you keep stopping allowing yourself to do? Hey, Sarah. What if that's true? One of my kids expects more stuff and my husband will want to quit his job but be jealous that I make more money than him. One of my kids will expect more stuff. Oh, that's the fear. Yep, I remember that one. That one even still pops in and out every now and again about my husband being jealous about the business and stuff like that. But that's just my own shit. And every time it pops in, I'm like, yeah, my husband's an epic human being who serves me and brings massive value to the universe. So I get to let that one go. And the kids expecting more stuff, that's okay. This is the question I've asked myself. I think I said this yesterday, but I'll repeat it because it's really important. Do you want to avoid a situation where people expect things of you unjustly? Or do you want to be a woman who's really seasoned and good at handling someone having an expectation of you, and it's not hard or overwhelming, it's something you deal with very easily and gracefully. You just know how to handle someone expecting something of you that they shouldn't and creating boundaries there. For me, it's definitely the latter. I want to know how to create those boundaries for sure, right? Hell yes. I think it's more of a problem with taking the steps necessary to get there or not feeling good about those steps, not so much bad stories around the outcome. Taking the steps necessary to get there or not feeling good about those steps. Yeah, right? But why do you not feel good about the steps to get there? Right? So if it's not bad stories about the outcome, then why wouldn't it feel good to take the steps to get there? Because the only reason something that's in alignment with our soul doesn't feel good when we're stepping into doing it is because we're worried about some negative prediction. 99% of the time, that's definitely it, right? So when you're trying to step into doing something, right? So like, let's say the Diamond Mastermind girls. 9 out of 10 of the girls who joined my Diamond Mastermind, they showed up like, oh my God, am I really gonna do this? And 9 out of 10 of them said, there's the occasional badass who comes in and is just like, I'm in, I don't care how much it costs, I'm joining, let me in. And I didn't, like, they just come out of nowhere and they're just like, I need to coach with you, let me in. And I freaking love them because that's exactly what I've done with all my stuff, right? So, but most of the time it's like, I don't know if I can do this. How do I know I'm gonna actually show up and make it work? How do I know, like, I'm gonna make this commitment, I know it's available for me, but then I don't trust myself to show up and actually do it. And what if I make this commitment and then I don't show up and do the work and recoup it on the other side? That is most of the time what they say. And that's legit. Like, what do you think? I'm not gonna do that for you. Yeah, you get to trust you to show up and do the work. But most of the time it's like we're basing, and this is relevant, so listen to this one, Lilia, okay? We're basing what's possible for us in the future based on what we know from the past. But how silly is it for us to have learned and grown so much to pull in resource, to have resource available for us, someone who's already done it, just handing it to you, telling you all the stuff, pretty much predicting everything that's gonna come up for you and then supporting you through it. How silly is it for us to reach back to the past and be like, well, that's what's gonna happen in the future. This is completely different circumstances. Of course that's not gonna happen, right? So we get to look at all those things when you're having fear moving forward. But for sure, what I wanna drop down tonight is I have single-handedly watched my entire family thrive and do better and be more happy and have so much more worldwide opportunity available for them because we have money. End of story. Were there tough things we had to go through in the learning process of being able to deal with money? Yeah, of course. I mean, we didn't have the mindset of wealth when we first started, and there was a lot of growing things, but I wouldn't trade that for anything because now I know how to do those things, right? A small fear that comes up that if I get really busy, I'll get overwhelmed and stress out and I get stuck with the technical things. Yeah, that was me, Sarah. Here's what I have to say about that. Do you trust yourself to set new boundaries and create a life of ease, right? So like most of the work I do with my clients, and you'll see through the testimonies and stuff on the Diamond Mastermind page, if anyone's interested, it's mandyparra.com, but you see most of the work that I do with my clients, my private clients that way, is really getting them to get away from doing the frantic bullshit and actually to make power moves to make life easy, to cut their hours in half, to stop doing all of the extra stuff they never needed to do, to stop telling themselves the story, it has to look like this or it'll fall apart, and to let it go and to actually just make things easy. For example, so many people are like, I want to do a digital program and they want to do memberships and blah, blah, blah. And like now I have all of that for my clients. They all have memberships and stuff like that. But when I first started, I didn't have none of that crap. I didn't do that stuff until I hired someone who could go on the back end and do it for me. I still don't do that crap. I never did. I never have, and I never will. I just created a Facebook group and then I ran it in the Facebook group and I created a little Google Doc where they could access all their shit. That's it. That's it. And I got paid $6,000 for those programs. And I did not have to make it complicated. And all I had to do was create the week's worth of content for them and show up in the Facebook group and be present with them and let them learn. So it's basically like being in the room with me, right? So like the girls are coming down to the retreat this weekend. They're in the room with me. They have access to me, all of my wisdom and all of my energy, just bringing them to the next level and dropping on them and being able to help them work through any of the stuff. Like that's the value. So anyone as a coach, it's access to you that is the value. So that fancy other shit, just do the stuff that makes life easy and creates income and healing in the world, and then hire people to do the other shit that you suck at. You don't have to be doing any of that stuff. You never did have to do any of that stuff, and I really didn't. Ask anyone who watched me. I never had a single professional photo done until this year in my business. This year, 99.9% of all my marketing is a selfie or an iPhone picture or a picture somebody else took of me from an iPhone. That's my marketing. My website page did never even go up for the first year and a half of my business. None of that crap went up. I didn't have memberships. I didn't have fancy shit. I didn't have email lists. I didn't have none of that stuff. And you don't need any of that stuff. All you need is for you to bring your deepest message to the world and have some support kicking your ass, getting yourself there. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Whether the Diamond Mastermind is something that feels right for you or not is irrelevant to this point. If it does, wonderful. Just PM me, mandyperry.com. If not, I'm going to drop something to you. You're not going to do this without support. Everybody asked me when I came out of HCI, like, hey, Mandy, what did you do that got you so far ahead of all of your peers? Because many of the peers that I had in that very group all became clients of mine. And the reason was, when I was there, the woman, Stacy and Carrie, that run HCI, said to me, get a mentor. Don't do this without a mentor. You're not going to be able to scale the way you want to without a mentor. And I said, okay. And I went and got a mentor. And yes, I shit my pants. And yes, I cried on the kitchen floor. And yes, I had no freaking clue I was going to work out. And yes, I had to hustle my ass off to make those beginning payments. And yes, I don't regret 1 millisecond of any of it. Do you see what I'm saying? And every single time what came up through this journey was I was afraid of who I was going to be if I made lots of money. I was afraid of who I was going to be if I was wildly successful. I was afraid what it was going to do to my kids. I was afraid I was taking time away from my kids. I was afraid I was becoming a bad mom. I was being selfish. I was taking from people. I was a fraud. I wasn't saving the kids in Africa like I said I was going to. All of that crap popped up. And what? What is yours? You got to tell me below, what is yours? My biggest one was like, I'll never buy a brand new car because I'll just always buy a used one, and all the extra money I would have spent on some Mercedes, I'm going to rescue kids in Africa and feed them. That was my biggest thing. That was it. It was about the car and the starving kids in Africa. That was the shit going down when I first started this. Let's see, I have more fear. Hey, I'm going to do all this work required, show up and still not get half of the results that I want and enough clients and income. Yeah, I get it. What if I really go for this and I fail and I find out it's all bullshit and I'm like the one person this couldn't happen for? Yeah, most people feel that way. That is a very common fear. And here's the thing, Lilia. What if you go for it and you crush it and have the most epic life ever? What's the one way to be sure that you do fail? The one way to be sure you fail is don't put both feet in. Keep 1 foot in and 1 foot out. That is a guaranteed way to fail and to get results that you're frustrated with, right? The one way to fail is to not fucking try. And it's not trying if you're just dilly-dallying or you're doing it as a hobby and you're not all in. This journey is like the top 10 and the top 1% of the people in the entire world. It's the entrepreneur industry. You get your own schedule. You get your own life. You get to make your own income. You get to create anything that you want to and serve people all over the world and create healing all over the world. This is like the cream of the crop. If you aren't willing to go both feet in, you don't deserve it. You don't belong. You don't belong. And that's part of what the Diamond Mastermind is. It's like the people that are both feet in or nothing, right? Like I've had multiple people reach out, and when I ask them on a 1 to 10, where are you at? And they say, I'm not, they say a 7. They're not, that's it, you're out. You're a 10 or you're nothing. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're moving forward or you're moving backwards. You're a 10 and you're all in this journey, or you're not. And that's it. End of story. And if you're not willing to be both feet in, you're not going to make it. You are not, sister. You're not going to make it to the top 10%, never mind the top 1%. You're going to frantically keep working and striving and doing all this stuff, and then you're not going to get there, right? I'm feeling like I am both feet in though. Yeah, except for emotionally, right? Because emotionally, you're saying like, yeah, but what if I really, so no, you're not. Actually, Lilia, I thought you were, and I'm so glad this came up. Woohoo, Lilia, I got your number. You thought you were both feet in, but if you were both feet in, you would have never said, my fear is I'm going to do all of this and then I'm not going to get the results. Think about that for a second. You wouldn't have said that. You will only say that if you know damn well that there's more you could be doing to put your feet in. So your journaling prompt tonight is, where am I holding back? What am I actually holding back on? That is definitely your journaling prompt tonight. That is good shit. I'm so glad that came up. Because you wouldn't say that if you're both feet in. It's just like, fuck it, I'm both feet in. It's do or die. Let's see what happens, right? Like, I'm doing this until. There is no if it works. There is no what if it doesn't work. It's I'm fucking doing this until it works no matter what. I'm doing it until. Everything that I can do in my motherfucking integrity, I will do, and I will show up and do it to make this work. I went through an entire season of this. It was like a whole year. My God. I did everything. I did public fundraisers. I sold my shit. I did live talks at the library. I did meetup groups. I did coaching online. I did one-on-ones. I had 30 one-on-one clients. I did literally everything and anything that my soul gave to me to come up and to do just to make that beginning phase work, right? And it was like, oh my God, there's nothing I won't do in my integrity. Nothing. I'm willing to go through this phase to just get my feet grounded in this business, right? And most people never do that. I promise you, the day that I did that public fundraiser, I woke up in the next morning and I was like, I just want to, I didn't even want to crawl under my covers. I wanted to crawl under my motherfucking bed. I wanted to crawl under my bed and go back to sleep. I did not want to wake up. And lo and behold, you know, after a few days of being in the tension of feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe I did a public fundraiser to raise money for a coach. It's not even like to feed my kids. It's like for a coach. And I made like $897. And I cried like a baby because I couldn't believe that people would invest in something like that. And I told myself in that moment, I will give back 10 times what that is to support other people. And then I gave away free retreats. The second I was able to, I started giving away free retreats for people to help transform them and go through that process because the retreats are so powerful. And I did get back for that. Yes. Maybe I'm in this year right now. Oh, we'll journal for sure. Yeah, because that sneaky stuff wouldn't have come out if you were like, I'm doing this until. There is no what if, right? So that sneaky stuff is still in there kicking your ass. Hi, Mandy, love this. How do you get to 10 if you're feeling stuck at 7, 8? That is a really great question. It's an inner game, right? For sure. It's an inner game. It is about you being really honest about the life that you want. Because if you're telling yourself, I should do this, I should want to do this more, I shouldn't be scared, I should be going on Facebook Lives and selling, speaking of selling, let me drop this. Speaking of, let me do my selling really quick. There's the link for the Diamond Mastermind so you can see more details about it. Okay, if you're in a state of should, this is really important, I'm glad you asked this. Really, really powerful question. If you're in a state of like, but I should do that, or I don't know, it's really about getting a clear enough why. Why the hell are you willing to put yourself in a position, let's hypothetically say someone had done really well and then they spent all this money on mentors and then they were like struggling again and they weren't getting there again. Well, first of all, the second you get away from a mentor, you're going to start going down. That's just the way it is. People ahead of you pull you to where they're at. That's the way it is. It's why I'll never go without a mentor myself, right? And then I should have put the light on. It was light out here earlier. I'm looking ghostly. Right? So if you were with a mentor and you were crushing it and then you stop being with a mentor, well, there's that, right? But the other part is also like, why? Why are you doing this? Why do you actually give a shit about doing this, about being a coach, about living this life, the kind of life where you're scheduling and you're working with clients and you're, letting your voice be heard and you're calling people's ass to more and you're in it with them, belly to belly. Like, why do you care about that? Because until you're really clear, like, okay, I'll give you an example. I was a 7 after I made a whole bunch of money and we moved here. We have this dream home. All the kids are happy. All our needs are met. And I'm like, yeah, I could live off of $60K a month for the rest of my life. Like, it's fine. I don't really need to do anymore. And I got complacent and I didn't really care. So I was a 7 or 8, right? So all I knew what I had to do when I was a 7 or 8 is I had to ask myself, okay, why do I care about 100K months? For what purpose? What do I care? What do I care about 100K months? And it was like, I dug, and at first I didn't know, and I journaled, and I thought about it, and I came up with ideas, and I was like, no, that doesn't really resonate. That just makes me feel like shoulds or I have to. And then it was like, buy my mom a house. My mom, who has been through shit and back, and has never had a place of her own to rest her head. Never had a place of her own to rest her head. I could buy her a fucking house. And I was like, yep, that does it. Instantly, I felt that like that fire inside of me. And so at that moment, there's nothing I won't do. And I start to look, what is like, where am I off? What are my needs? What do I, where am I off? What am I needing support in? Where am I looking to show up? What is my next move? What is the stuff I've been like, oh, I don't have to do that, working out, making sure I get that workout in, pulling in resource for things, getting back into remembering to do the sales part of things. I'm such a love bug and I love everybody that I just get all lovey-dovey, and I sometimes forget to like go hard with the sales and like really like let people know like, hey, like my Diamond Mastermind, it's fucking epic. You're never gonna find a deal like this anywhere. The ridiculous rate of this is insane. What you get for it, access to everything, one-on-one access to me indefinitely. You get to travel around the world with us and have access to other like-minded women and get access to everything I do for fucking so cheap. Like, it's insane. And I don't say that very often. I didn't even tell anybody about my Diamond Mastermind. When I figured out I was buying the house for my mom, I was like, I'm going to tell the whole world about my Diamond Mastermind. I don't know why I didn't tell them up until now, because I got complacent. It was a 7. It wasn't a 10. It became a 10 when I figured out something that mattered to me enough, the way it used to be when I was trying to take care of my children and put fucking food on the table. And I couldn't even afford organic stuff and had to buy ramen noodles, and I cried because I had to buy fucking ramen noodles. I was over it. I was done. It wasn't happening for one more day, one more hour, one more fucking second. I was done. It wasn't happening. I was going to find a way to take care of them and give them the life that I couldn't. A safe life where they had the resources they need to be healthy and taken care of. And so when you hit a certain number in the business and you start making money and those needs are gone, then it shifts into something different, right? So I found a new way to recreate that need, which is kind of funny. This one's different. It's someone else's need, and I'm meeting a need that's outside of my intimate family. And after that, it'll be, and some of them are wants too. I also was like, yeah, I want to buy X, Y, and Z. These are the things that I want. I want to invest in another program that's like, $100K. And it's like, yeah, those are goals. Like when I reach this, I'll meet those. But I had to find something that was a 10. That's it. That is the key. That is the key. You have to find something that's a 10. If you're not a 10, you ain't going to do it. You're just not. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time with people that aren't a 10. I will help them find out what their 10 is, though. That's something I'm committing to doing, because everyone will change. That is a ripple effect in this planet that I'm willing to leave. That is a footprint I want to leave on this planet, right? Is helping people understand their why so they show up in their biggest, best self. They will become their best them. They will give the best of them to the world and the people around them because they're living at a motherfucking 10. That is a big deal. Of course you're not giving up, Lilia. Girl, you're badass. This resonates. Yep, getting into shoulds is a problem instead of hot desire to serve. Yes, thank you, girl. You're so welcome. And you know the door's open when you're ready. Hey, Kristen. Oh my God, I miss you. Okay, so let me make sure. I always have to go to the title to make sure I didn't lie to you guys and put some title and then not cover it. So the title was Feeling Guilty About the Idea of Being Wealthy and Successful. Yes, I think I've sufficiently covered that. Any other questions about this? Yeah, I think the thing I feel to say is like, all right, if you want to believe that bullshit, you can, but I kind of want you to have a moment like I did where all your needs are met. You can travel anywhere in the world that you want to. Everything's available for you that you could possibly think of currently, and your children are thriving, your husband is thriving, your cats are thriving. Everybody's living a thriving, epic life and has all their resources available to them and needs met. I want you to have that experience. I want to find my 10. Hell yeah. It's odd in this culture that it's so hard for people to know what they want. Just figuring out what is your 10. I should do a program on that. Perfect 10. Oh my God, that's going to be the name. Perfect 10. That's brilliant. Thank you, Patrick. So when you're trying to find your 10, let me see. How can I help you figure out how to find your 10? Okay, I can do this. Here's what I did. I visualized my dream life. Like from when I woke up in the morning to when I go to sleep, this is what my dream in life is like. And then I called it in and I was like, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and that's my life. I can go do that. And I was like, oh, I totally did not want that life. And I was like, wow, I don't want that life at all. And I was like, okay, well, what was missing? Like, what's missing in that? And it was like, oh, no adventure. I was like, I'm going to ride around on a bike and relax. And like, that's not who I am. In case you didn't notice, I'm a little bit spazzy and I like action adventure, right? I like adrenaline. I do. I like the chase and the thrill and the pushing yourself to the next level. And I was athletic my whole life, right? Like, I love that kind of life. And I realized all of this was missing. And what came to mind, I was like, I want to go down in a shark tank, and I want to cliff dive, and I want to go skydiving. And then I started getting all lit up, and I was like, okay, those are definitely the whys for a life that actually excites me. So when I first started this, I told myself, or I told someone else, I told them, all I really want is to be able to, spend more time with my kids. And then I was like, not doing the work. And then one day I just realized, I'm so full of shit. That's not what I want. I don't actually want to just spend more time with my kids. I wanted to have fun, adult fun, traveling the world fun, adventure. That's what I was longing for. I got plenty of time with my kids. So I was like, oh shit, I just lied. And then I didn't take action. The second I shifted it and got really clear what I actually did want, I started taking different action, right? So it's about being really honest what you want. Not like, it sounds good if you say you just want more time with your kids, or I want to pay for my kids' college. No, you feel like you have to pay for your kids' college. It's probably not your why, but what is your why, right? Like buying my mom a house, knowing the life she's had, and being a woman who did the work to get to the place where I can give her a place to lay her head before she dies is so fucking motivating, I can't even tell you. And it took me a little while. I had to sort through the riding my bike around and hanging out at the beach. And then I had to sort through like, I'm gonna jump off cliffs and be in shark cages. And then I kept going and digging, and that's when I finally got to the place of purchasing my mama house and paying off my dad's house, and maybe sending some support for my brothers and sisters. When I find that, and it's like, you'll know when it's your 10, when you'll feel it in your belly, you'll feel it in your gut, you feel this fire start to build inside of you, and you're like, yes, nothing's motherfucker. And then you compare it, right? I compare like, well, do I want to take the night off and not do a Facebook Live and give value? Or do I want to buy my mama house? Buy my mama house, thanks. Do I want to get up and work out right now? Or do I want to sleep in? Do I want to wake up and work out right now and then be fired up and then crush the day and buy my mama house? Buy my mama house, get up and work out. And it's like every single move I make, I'm comparing it to which one matters more, this or this. And buying my mama house will win every fucking time. And I don't know what the next one's going to be after I buy her house, because that's not going to be too far off, but I'll find the next thing. And it's just a matter of giving it time and attention, because you recognize giving it time and attention will change your fucking life. Perfect 10. That shit's so good. It is good. Me too, Lilia, right? That's part of the Diamond Mastermind, why we have a Bali retreat. Oh my God, the Bali retreat. I take the girls to meet the locals. We go to, I'm not going to give too much away, but it's so epic, because that's what we all long for, to be together as a unit and a tribe of people all doing the same work and going to that next level, traveling the world together, cheering each other on, supporting each other when we're going through tough things, sharing our resources or our wisdom. It's really powerful. Like, yeah, I got to create I got to create a job based off of something that is the thing I longed for the most. I mean, I never had too many friends growing up. I had a really traumatic childhood, and I had to like be home after school. I wasn't really allowed to go out or go with friends or do anything like that, or I wasn't allowed to date. I wasn't allowed to go to school dances, so I didn't really have too many friends. And when I grew up, I just started getting, that was another 10. Another 10 was like, I want to do life with women. I remember I used to say, oh, I can't stand women. I'm only friends with guys. Like, women are too dramatic. And all the guys would be like, yup. And so like, I just believed that pattern for the longest time. And then I remember I finally made my first couple of friends, and I was like, how have I done life so long without you? Like, I had no idea how I did life so long without women. It was awful. And then that was it, right? Then it became a 10. Like, I need to do life with other women. I need to, and it's easily now becoming really strong for men too. Like, men who are willing to show up and live at a 10 and 10x their life and do the fucking work and be vulnerable and honest and connect with people. Like, I have so much respect for men who do this work. My husband is one of them. The men that he coaches, the work that he does, I mean, it's just so powerful. By the way, any of the men out there, if you're searching for a mentor, my husband is literally the bomb. His clients rant and rave about him consistently. So if you're looking for support from a masculine, just let me know. I will connect you to him. I want to run a retreat in Fuji and salsa dance every day. Oh my God, you're the best dancer ever, girlfriend. Jackie and Dawn. Oh my God, Patrick, I don't know what you're gonna say, but you're not allowed to say much. I grew up with Patrick as a younger adult. I used to work with him. Patrick knows my roots, where the hell I actually came from and where I am today. It's pretty fucking epic what this perfect 10 will do for you. Brother, you're gonna have to tell me when you find your Jackie. You just said Jackie and Dawn. I feel like more and more of my hometown peeps have been showing up lately. A couple of them even joined my groups. It's so amazing. I wish I could just reach back and take everybody with me. You're always the man, Patrick. You're still the man. Jackie and Don. You got me on that one. That was good. I haven't even thought about that shit for a long time. That is good stuff. I'm freaking going to Bali. I don't care what it takes. See? That's a motherfucking 10. I'm going to Bali. By the way, go on the mandyperry.com page, go over to retreats, click Bali, and get on the wait list to get notified when the Bali retreat's coming up. For the first time ever, I'm going to announce it ahead of time. I always tell people like 3 weeks ahead of time, even for a Bali retreat. I'm like, oh yeah, the retreat's in 2 weeks. And then everybody gets mad at me. It's like, if you told me earlier. So I promise I will let you know much ahead of time this time, unlike the Sarasota retreat. By the way, it's this weekend if you want to come. I'm getting better. See, there's some things in my business I still suck at, and that's okay. It's not a 10 for me yet. It will get there. Okay, any other questions about the perfect 10 or about being scared or confused or worried or guilty about being wealthy or successful or even spending time away from your kids? Because that's also another one for a lot of people. It's like, I'm not allowed to take time for myself. Like, I can't spend time away from my kids or I'm not allowed to take time for myself. The time, like for example, Patrick, the time that you would need away to yourself to focus and figure out what your 10 is so that your life can start to shift on a different level, right? Taking that time away. Most people feel guilty about that, or they feel like they're not allowed to, or it's not important enough because I need to fucking walk the dog or whatever shit. I'm not a dog person, by the way. I really can't stand dogs. I try, but they scare me. And then everyone tells me, well, if you're scared, they're going to know you're scared, and then they're going to be aggressive to you. And I'm like, well, it can fucking sniff my fear, and then it's going to bite me. And then I get more scared. It's like never-ending cycle. Hey, Rachel. Oh, Jackie and Dawn. Oh, my God, Patrick. I'm going to tag Dawn in this. Is she on here? Where's Dawn? What? She's not on here? I'm not friends with Dawn? You're gonna have to tag her for me, Patrick. What about Jackie? I think she's Jacqueline. I don't even know how to spell her name. That shit was funny. Okay, I don't see any other questions about this. So, what's the lesson today? The lesson today is, number 1, get your ass into the Diamond Mastermind. Because this shit, first of all, I'm going to be increasing the price again because the value is so insane. You get retreats all over the world with me, access to me every single day, coaching, a Facebook group to tag me, to get tech support from my team, and access to every single thing that I do. That is fucking insane. No, I don't know anybody who does that. That is the most insane shit ever. Dawn got married. Oh, so she has a different last name. That's right, because she had a baby. I forgot about that. So, okay, I'm scrolling on my sale. Number 1, PM me if you're interested in Diamond Mastermind. Go to mandyperry.com, check it out. It is the fucking insane value. It is really insane. So I don't know when. I haven't decided when I'm going to raise the price, but it's already like, okay, Mandy, this is ridiculous that you're doing this for this cheap. So check that out. And then that is like, you just commit. It's a monthly commitment, and you come in, and the girls that are in there want to be in there, and you don't have to stay. It's like, I feel like a mentor of mine said this to me, and it really resonated with me. Making someone, like forcing someone to stay. First of all, I had a horrible experience of that. But forcing someone to stay is like forcing someone to be your best friend. Like, I'm going to force you to be my friend. It's such crap. Like, no. So you come in when you come in and you leave when you leave. Like, it's really an honor to be part of the group. So there's no making you stay for something that's like anything like that. I'm definitely signing up as soon as I can. Oh my God, I would shit my pants to have you in there, Rachel. Ah! Okay, and number 2, whatever the thing is, the story is that you're telling yourself about why having money is bad, or being wealthy or successful, or taking time for your needs, or time for yourself, or time to give your creative ideas out there, or taking those brave ass leaps, like just doing the brave crazy shit and just doing it because you're just gonna fucking do it because you have a 10, and finding your 10, your perfect 10. I really am gonna do a group called Perfect 10. That's awesome. I'm getting really good at finding my 10s because I've had to do it over, and I grew so fast that I have to keep finding new ones. Finding your 10 is also very, very, very fucking important in this journey, in this process. So that is all. Hashtag, what is the hashtag for this one? Hashtag fuck guilt. That's what we're doing. Hashtag fuck guilt. Oh my God, I'm actually gonna remember to pin the comment while I'm in here this time. Hold on, I have to go and pin the comment real quick, and I don't actually know how yet. So just so you guys know, for all the other coaches out there, if you don't pin your comment in your chats while you're on the Facebook Live, you can't go in and do it later. There's no pin button available. Hey Mandy, we're just wrapping up. Did I cover the I'm afraid I'll have no time for them because I'll be too busy? Yes, I did. The question there is, do you trust yourself to set new boundaries and to not allow that to happen again, period, end of story? Do you trust yourself to create, this is the time I actually long to spend with my children and I will create life around that? And do you trust and believe and know that of course there'll be enough time available for you to create the life that you want around the things that are your, like, these are my non-negotiables is what we call them. These are my non-negotiables. They're non-negotiable. This is what I will do. For example, I will be there every single morning to put my kids on the bus. That is a non-negotiable. I will build my business around that. Do you trust yourself to do that? That's all that's needed. Nothing else. You don't need to have to figure out how the fuck it's all going to happen or what step 4, 5, 6 are going to look like or what if a client blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know any of that. All you need to do is ask yourself, do I trust myself to keep my non-negotiables and to be unwilling to budge from that? Yes? Okay, move to the next level. On to the next level, right? That's the only question you have to answer. Do you trust yourself to do that? That's it. Nothing else. Woo! This was good shiznit. Exactly. Coasting and complacent are. Yes. Hashtag fuck guilt. Fuck it. Complacency too. Fuck complacency too. All right, guys. I love you. I've been with you since sun up to sundown. Look at this shit. We just spent the whole entire day together, sun up to sundown. Oh my God. And for the girls coming to meet me here this weekend, I cannot wait to see you. We're going to jam out and have so much fun. I can't wait to play and work with you guys and up level. I'm also doing the Up Level Your Business event on Friday with the girl who booked it. I'm so excited for that. I'm like, get this, I'm literally sitting down with her and going through her entire business and up-leveling everything with her, literally on her computer, organizing systems and all her graphics. And like, we're just gonna spend the whole day doing this shit. How amazing is that? That is epic. And that came up when I was floating around in the pool, listening to my soul to do nothing and allow creative juices to come up. And then I thought of that. And now she's gonna get the best day ever. And I'm gonna be doing it once a month. So if anybody's interested in that, that'll be coming up once a month. And of course the diamonds get a discount for that if they wanna do it. Okay guys, I love you so much. Mandy, seriously. All right guys, have a great night. Love you.